So JJK chapter 239 just came out, and listen, the biggest fight is about to go down. This is the beginning of the end for Kenjaku. You could even say it was the beginning of the end when the culling game was first introduced, and that Takaba was turned into the sorcerer that he is today, ready to go and solo the entire universe. Now, the big thing with JJK early on was explaining that Gojo, if his presence was removed from the world, that it would cause the power balance to implode, that curses would run rampant, that the world would just turn upside down, right? Well, we don't have to worry anymore because Takaba is in here, having been introduced as a sorcerer in the culling game by Kenjaku. Balance is restored. Balance is restored in the universe. And I'm so excited to go and see him go in here and just absolutely mop the floor with Kenjaku, honestly. Honestly, for me, this is the first chapter that I have read since catching up with the series. So I'm going to be with you reading this weekly. So I'm going to give you my thoughts about all of this, as well as trying to process everything, because look, with peace and love, please forgive me. Binging this entire series was incredible. It was an amazing experience. The only thing, though, is that I've been trying to wrap my brain about each little thing. At least you guys, when you read this series weekly, potentially from the start, you had the chance every week to break things down, absorb information, understand everything, let it process. I went through this series at such a breakneck speed that, look, I understand how powerful Takaba is, right? Like, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to fully getting a grip of his abilities, I really need to go and spend today just talking through it with you guys and breaking it down. Because look, again, I totally understand Kenjaku doesn't stand a chance. You could see his face when he appeared. And he did the fully sick dropkick in. It was amazing. But let me just go and read through his abilities and just get to understand the man behind the myth, the legend, right? Because this guy is a force to be reckoned with. Takaba is an exceptionally goofy individual whose jokes aren't funny, but he still lives to entertain above all else. A man after my own heart. Honestly, this is a personal attack for me. Is this why I have a personal bond with this man? It's because it's essentially me in JJK form. Man's out here, he's grinding, right? He's out here doing God's work, right? Not everyone's gonna be like a Chris Rock, insert really successful comedian, a Bill Burr, I don't know. But when it comes to, look, you gotta get out there, you gotta chase your dreams, okay? This man's out here doing that. So let's look at his abilities and his powers, okay? Overall skill level. Takaba is unsuspectingly strong, and his 0 score in the culling game does not reflect his actual strength. He's going to solo the universe. Takaba's goofy attitude leads people to heavily underestimate him. He's a self-proclaimed old-school entertainer who is pro-violence. And his resolve translates into battle. That's one of the most loaded sentences I've ever heard. He's a self-proclaimed old-school entertainer who is pro-violence. Oh man. Master of hand-to-hand combat. Takaba may not seem like a fighter, but he's exceptionally adept at close-quarters combat. He was able to overpower Hazanoki with an expertly performed surprise dropkick. I mean, he's putting Okada to shame with those dropkicks. I mean, the form of his dropkicks, legendary. Okay, cursed energy manipulation. Takaba boasts impressive levels of cursed energy that flared up enough for Reggie and Hazanoki to be on guard when he was only going to tell a joke. This man's a menace. This man's the biggest menace in the series. When Takaba first attacked Hazanoki, his cursed energy increased dramatically and Reggie took note of the dramatic shift in output. Takaba's reinforced attacks were able to knock Hazanoki through several buildings. Stop. This man cannot be stopped. And his jokes cannot be stopped as well. You guys need to understand, alright? Because I do. Totally. It's a technique with enough potential to oppose even Gojo. The fact that is in writing is nuts. That is nuts. But Takaba is utterly clueless of his own power. Thus, very little is known about how the technique functions or goes about bringing his humorous thoughts into reality. However, it is likely that Takaba's technique is what allowed him to survive numerous bombings from Hazanoki and heal from the first injuries he suffered without a reverse cursed technique. Stop. This guy's a menace. This guy's gonna solo the entire universe. Get this guy in there with Sukuna, it's over. He's gonna pop in there and finish the job. Now, I could read about Kenjaku, but honestly, doesn't stand a chance against Takaba. So I just want to go and see what other people's thoughts are on this growing situation in the story. Also, I just want to say that it was pretty loaded just, you know, to see a live stream of Gojo just getting sliced in half. That was pretty full on. They just pulled up the live stream and went, oh, he lost. Anyway, I really like this comment on the subreddit. In a weird way, Takaba kind of foils Kenjaku pretty well. They both change the world around them based on their own sense of humor, but for opposing reasons. Kenjaku only wants to amuse himself, while Takaba wants to make others laugh. In addition, Kenjaku reached his strength through centuries of planning and effort, where Takaba got his powers less than a month ago and doesn't even understand them. Overwhelming complexity versus stalwart simplicity. I love the whole idea of Kenjaku being foiled by Takaba, and it was Kenjaku's fault. He went and started up this whole culling game, and Takaba became a sorcerer from it. And he's still trying to understand his powers. Meanwhile, Kenjaku has been doing this like for centuries. So I love the whole idea of him being foiled by his own plans. And I really do think that for somebody like Kenjaku, who's been meticulously planning this whole thing, the entire series, right? And he's always had a plan A and a plan B to a plan Z throughout every single part of the story. For him to be foiled by his own plans, I think it's just a perfect way to go. And look, I love it when joke characters get their due. I love it when joke characters step up and they become formidable foes. So, of course I'm rooting for Takaba. Like, what? How could you not? I mean, he honestly is me in manga form. So, I gotta root for him. What were your thoughts on the latest JJK chapter? Let me know in the comment section down below. What are your expectations when it comes to Takaba versus Kenjaku? Let me know in the comment sections as well. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more JJK content, and I'll see you guys on the next one.